I'm Elwirfy, and today we're going to be doing part 2 of this Warhammer 40k kind of reintroduction, as I would call it. Essentially, what we're going to be looking at is the actual platform itself. Now, I talked about it earlier. The first video was kind of clunky because I had a lot of stuff I had to say. Didn't know quite the right order to say, but this video should make a little bit more sense, or at least be a little more structured. We're essentially going to be taking a look at Tabletop Simulator. This is pretty much the platform I use in order to play Warhammer 40k, so that way I don't have to go driving hours and hours and spending thousands of dollars on models and, by time. I can just, like if I go here, I go to join. Right now everything's kind of loading. I'll load up some servers real quick just so you guys can see. I don't know if there's any Warhammer games going on right now. Let me filter by game real quick. No, it doesn't look like it, but that's okay. It's very easy to make a game. I'm often the one making the games. You can have private games. That's mostly what I do. So that way random people can't come in and then, flip the table and wreck it. That's very upsetting. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and create my own instance. Just going to do single player. And I'm just going to show off kind of the cool things you can do with this game. Now, there's all kinds of stuff you can download. There's a lot of downloading. I'll cover that later. But since I'm Blood Angels, I've personally downloaded it. And this is all from the workshop, by the way. Everything you're going to see from the workshop, I have not created any of this at all. I don't own anything. It's fine. But check this out, guys. I can make any list that I want to, essentially. Because, oh, everything's still loading. Okay. We're just getting some lag here. It makes sense. There's a lot of bits. Just, you always got to give it a moment. And I'm recording, and recording does not like having lots of bits on a screen that all had to be individually loaded. So, yeah, no, there's definitely some issue with that. Alright. Anyway, so as you can see, we have all of these different Blood Angel stuff. We have, all the way from, Storm Raven gunships. We have a Thunderhawk. I don't even think you could use a Thunderhawk, but it's there. It's there. So, that's fun. And this is all generic Space Marine stuff. Your Librarians, your Predators, your Rhinos, Land Raiders, Dreadnoughts, Jump Marines, etc. And then for Blood Angels, I also have, this is the fun part, we also have some Death Company units. We have, we got Lamartis, Dante, Brother Cobolo, and Tycho. And look, these are really good models, right? I mean, I would say these are pretty well done, for the most part. And then, of course, we have a Furioso Dreadnought, super cool. And we got our Ball Predators with the Flamer and the Bolter, but no Flamestorm Cannon on the top. Very disappointing. I think that's pretty horrible, actually. I think we need to get these same two versions, but with the Flamestorm Cannons and with the Storm Bolters on top. So if there's any modders out there who happen to watch this, who are good at it, I'm not good at this at all. I don't own anything. I just download it for free. Put more variations on the Ball Predator, please. That'd be nice. And there's even, like, a Death Company Rhino to transport the Death Company. And not all the weapon options are here. I mean, yeah, there's the, the hammer. They call it a power maul, but that is clearly a hammer. So someone did some bad labeling. We got swords, power fists, all the different variations. That's why there's so many of everything. Like if you go to the Tactical Marines, there's 3 different poses. There's a running pose, a crouching pose, and a regular standing pose. And then they have like plasma gun, melta. You get it. All the weapons are here. You got different bike squads. You have chaplains on bikes, librarians. Sadly, they also, for Blood Angels, don't have the librarian dreadnoughts. That's the thing. So you have to proxy things sometimes, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Most people in this game are pretty friendly about it, and again, this is just me showing off Space Marines. Like, for example, let's get an example of some actual lists I've made, because I think that'll make things make a little bit more sense. Let me go to my display table. Where is that? Should be saved. Oh, wait, no, it's not here. It's going to be in the saved section. Yeah, let's go to display. And let's check this out. It'll load a lot. It's going to hurt. Bear with me. Again, bear with me. Okay. Loading complete. It's going to be laggy. It's always laggy right after you load something, because this game has a lot to process. But look at this. I have all these different armies I can try out, and work with. I've ever since the new update, I've been trying to work on stuff. Check it out. They have cool Blood Angels dice, very cool. We have all of the objective cards, and there's even data cards. So like what you can do here is you can hover your mouse over, hit Alt, and then scroll wheel to zoom in, and you can take a look at this tactical squad, for example, and see what they can have, what weapons they have. I would say, though, using these, I would pair everything you see here with the app on your phone. I can't show it to you, obviously, right now, but the app called Battle Scribe. That's where I build all my lists, so it's always constantly being updated. Like, for example, I made this awesome infantry army. You know, we have a custom captain, very cool. We have some tech marines and Brother Kobolo leading it. We have 3 Hellblaster squads. We have 5 Intercessor squads. And then we have 5 unupgraded Tactical Marine squads coming down in drop pods. Going to be a screen. Why not just use scouts? Because, I know it's cheaper. But Marines are a little bit more durable. I like having the Marines better. It looks pretty cool. And plus, it lets you put up line of sight blocking terrain on the map. That's something you don't really think about. So that's why I do that. This is probably my most well-balanced army for 2,000 points. These are all 2,000 points armies. By the way, if that wasn't obvious. Like, we have a triple Terminator thing going on, where we have, some Terminators here, and then, those are supposed to, maybe they're just walking. I think one of these Terminator squads is actually not supposed to be here, but I don't remember. Yeah, because we have one going transported there, one transported in there. Oh, right, and Deep Strike. Wait, right. Wasn't just going to be teleport homing in. We have some las cannon predators for some firepower, and then we have multiple 5-man squads here, and then we have like this nice assault squad. Yeah, not the best army, I think, but certainly the most well balanced here. And check it out. We even have this. Oh wait, this is not. This army's okay. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it as much. So this is what I own in real life. Check it out. That's the cool thing. This game was so awesome that I could actually put everything that I own right here. So this is everything I own. Nothing added or taken away. This is literally everything I own. So that's kind of cool to look at. You see what I actually have. Obviously, I don't have the Flamestorm cannon ones. So one of these is supposed to be a Flamestorm cannon, or they're both supposed to be Flamestorm cannons actually, because that's what I've modeled on my tanks. So kind of annoying, to be honest. And then I have this awesome Death Company army, right? Again, 2,000 points. So you see, it's really cool. Now let me go to an actual game, because I could show you all the lists. Like here's a Primaris list. We have Centurions inside Repulsors, and I don't think the list is actually functional. There's a little bit more of a realistic all Primaris list with a lot of variety. Stuff to try out. But that's the setup. I mean, you can do that if you want, but what's cool is that how you can have actual games, right? Obviously. So let me find what do I want to show you? Sure. We'll just use a blank battlefield maybe for now. Yeah. So we can have a blank battlefield like this, for example, and we could have these lines here, that show the deployment zone, and you're thinking, okay, so let's say I want to play. I'm like, okay, cool, I'd love to play this. How do I do this? Well, as you can see, again, all modded, by the way, none of this is mine, but people have made these custom boards, so that way you can play directly. I've just downloaded this map off the workshop, and then you can go here, you can go to everything you've saved, you have different folders, so I can go to, say, the army folder, and it'll, let me choose I can choose any army that I want to. So, for example, let's take a look at the, maybe the bike army. That could be fun. This is a new army that I've made recently with the new updates. Pretty cool looking stuff. I was thinking, you know what, this is actually a good example of how I'm thinking about changing the Blood Angels to be a little bit more effective. Because right now, Blood Angels, they're not doing that good, to be honest. They're kind of weak sauce. So how would we make this work? So we have this army, but we got to actually prepare it for the battlefield. So these are all heavy supports. I remember when Blood Angels used to be fast attack for their predators, but they're not anymore. But these guys are all fast attack. Well, these guys are HQs. We'll put those HQs somewhere else. Obviously, the Warlord is going to be that captain on the bike, because he's got some pretty good options. It would have been the jump captain, but I didn't have enough points for the Thunderhammer, so that's why it's there. And now we'll go ahead and take this, for example. And just slide it into that slot. And then, of course, now, when you spawn models in, sometimes they'll get moved around and stuff, and it's okay. Oh, do they have grid on? See, if there's any issue with like how they're standing, yeah, take off grid always. Forgot to mention that. Always take off grid on your models. Otherwise, they'll try and go to predetermined spots, which is not good. I will need to update that in this army, but I'll do that another time. Just kind of spread them out for display purposes, not really for functionality. Sure. And they're all fast attack, right? So we could go ahead and we can split them up. You know, take that, pull them in. Grab that, push it up. Grab all these, move them over. So they look more uniform, and boom. You could have your army all set up, ready to go. Now, what if, now obviously we need an opponent, right? But before we get the opponent, for an example, we also have to bring in some other items. So for example, objective markers, really nice. This is where I keep my Blood Angel dice. Boom. Blood Angel dice right there. I also have some preset objective markers. Very nice indeed. Okay, and then what else do we need? Let me think. Oh, the detachments, right? So you need to know what you're using. So that's also all downloaded. And if someone asks me for where to find all this, I'm just gonna say it's in the workshop. You just type in 40k, whatever you need, you'll find it. But if you have any questions about where to get something specific that I'm using, please just comment down below, because I have a lot of stuff, and it's hard for me to get, you know, every single thing that I've downloaded from different. I've combined stuff. It's tough. But if there's something specific you need, you know, let me know. So we have 4 HQs total. We don't have any troops, but this is not a very command point heavy army, admittedly. For example, this is an Outrider detachment. We have 2 of them, because we have 2 commanders, so there'll be 2 command points there. And then we have a Spearhead detachment, because we have some heavy support. We don't have a Supreme Command detachment, so right now we're getting 6 command points total. So that's about that. Of course, we need our objective deck. Sometimes things are harder to place than others. For example, where did I store it? You gotta have to zoom in to be able to place these cards correctly. Yeah. And then check it out. So if you have these cards, you can scroll over them. You could shuffle them just by dragging over the whole pile. Don't drag a single one, but the whole pile. And then you shuffle it, and then you can just draw cards. And see, look, you could have like a mission critical objective. Seize ground. Haha. I don't know if they're the Blood Angel specific ones yet. Yeah, defend objective 3. You know, for example, when the ones where it says draw 3 objective cards. Big Game Hunter. Cool. So all the cards are there and stuff. So we have the objectives. We have that, and even better. So since we're not using this space, we can move all these detachments over, like so. We have our dice, which can be just, you know, thrown over there, and we can even grab, although I have a codex and I have it on the app, sometimes it can still be nice to just have cards, the actual cards. So what I like to do is I like to grab some data cards over here in little baggies that I have, you know, and you can go through, and in these bags, what you do to go through them, you don't drag stuff out. That's not good. You're going to want to right click, hit search, and then it'll load. Let it load first. You don't want to try and it'll bug out. You just let it load first, okay? And then once it's done loading, because that's to process every single card, as you can see on the right of the screen, you have a lot of options. So that way, things should be pretty good. So what are we actually using today? We're using bike squads. Where is, let's see, attack squad, bike squad, haha. All right. And then what else do we have? We have assault marines. So we have an assault squad. What else do we have? We have a captain on the bike. The models themselves might look a little weird. This is for just general generic Space Marine bag, so they will all look a bit strange. Do we have Tech Marines on bikes? No, we have chaplains on bikes. Although in hindsight, Tech Marine on bike might have been good, but there was no model for Tech Marine on bike as far as I could tell, so I didn't grab it. Let's see, chaplain. Right, so if you don't find, oh, we have a librarian, I believe. Do we have a librarian? No, we do not, actually. We do not have a librarian on the bike. We do have a captain, okay. And we have, there's the chaplain on the bike. Okay, cool. What else do we have? Oh, right, the ball predators. So we'll go to the Blood Angels. We'll search it. And this will load up pretty darn quick. Let's see, where do they keep the Ball Predator? At the bottom. At the bottom. And then that's the army, right? So we have all of our stuff now. Because we have the regular captain who's on the ground who'll have the jump pack stats. So what I like to do personally is I like to take, these, data cards and just kind of move them into the sections where I'm actually going to be using them, so that way it's a little easier for me to remember. My heavy support's there, HQs are up here, and then you're essentially ready to go. You can start rolling off for missions. I even have some objective markers here for myself in case my opponent doesn't have any, and for your opponent, I don't have this guy as set up as well, but for example, you could have, say, where are they? Yeah, like a Tau army. And they're going to be, because the way it works is when you spawn models in, you're technically, in Tabletop Simulator, you're given a side, so I'm facing that side, so that's why this whole army is actually completely backwards. But, as you can see, you just grab some armies are better than others, so, like, I have all the data cards for this army already prepared. And, yeah, this is 2,000 points. Tau got a lot. I can see why Tau have gotten pretty darn good, considering how many guns I can put on the field. Like, these are each 5-man squads. There's 12 Fire Warrior squads. Each squad is 35 points. Unless there's an update after this video, they're super cheap. Like, I could totally see Tau running a lot of Fire Warrior squads as a big screen. And the thing is, they have a 30-inch range. They're good. It's not like, Space Marines where they got the 24-inch range, only rapid fire at 12. These guys rapid fire at 15. They're like acting like Primaris. I mean, if you look at, the strike team, that's what they actually are. Ballistic skill 4+, so pretty good. Strength 3, weapon skill 3. Let's see here. Pulse carbine. Right, they're assault 2. That's right. Or wait, pulse carbine or pulse rifle? If they're pulse rifle, they're rapid fire 1. Oh right, yeah. Sorry, not pulse carbine. I'm being stupid. Pulse rifle, rapid fire 1. Strength 5, right? Versus, the bolters, which are strength 4. Unless maybe they're the same as Primaris. But see, that's just the thing, though. This is the basic cheap infantry. Primaris Marines are 90 points, so. And I say 90 points with the auto bolt rifle included. That gives them assault 2, which is very important. So that way they can move and, charge and still shoot their weapons, because they're assault weapons. Anyways, yeah, so you'd get this. I'm not going to go through the whole process of setting up. And then what you do is you essentially say, oh, well, let's deploy. And so you can pick them up. There's good physics in this game, by the way. And you can just put stuff on the battlefield like that. And then how do you measure stuff? I'm sure you're thinking, well, you can either do it the hard way, which you do is you come here, or, maybe we don't, we'll use a tank, I suppose. But it's kind of better to use a guy with a base. Yeah. So let's say we have this. Oh, are you gridded? Yeah, no grid for you. Turn off grid on all your stuff. It makes it so much harder to play the game. So you go up to, like, the 12 inches, with your stuff. And then you're like, alright, Ball Predator, you move 12 inches at full health. So you can either do this, where you measure out to 12, but I think this is a little bit tedious, because what you do is you mark it by spamming tab a bunch, and then you would move your Predator up to the line. Right. Or you do it the much easier way. You click on it, make sure you're holding it, and he's hovering. Hit tab, and then move as you wish. So if there's going to be some moving through terrain, remember it's only measuring in a straight line, so then you go 14. Boom. 14 inches for the bike, because that's how fast attack bikes go. Or not attack bikes, regular bikes. Bike squad. Right, and then you can roll for overcharge if you wanted. I'm just giving you an example of how you'd go about playing the game. So what I could do is I could, pick up a die. So this is for the bike, because bikes have turbo boost. So 1, so pick it up, move it 1 inch, and every inch matters in this game. Now, of course, Blood Angels, because they're awesome, they have the overcharged, oh, sorry, didn't mean to drop it. You can accidentally drop dice, it's a little, it's not, again, this game is not perfect, but, hey, it saves me a lot of money. Obviously, Blood Angels, they have the overcharged engines rule, but they both rolled 4s, kind of unlucky to be honest. No option to get a 6. You pick it up, then you move 4, and then, look at that, you're in range to do your rapid firing with your bolters and stuff. Pretty good. Yeah. Well, you can't shoot when you advance, but, So yeah, that's kind of like what you would do, and then you'd obviously have objectives, and you'd like roll for things. Again, the dice are very functional. You know, you can pick up a bunch, you can roll them all. I'm not actually gonna do that because I'll make a mess, but you roll them all, and that's essentially how you play the game. I mean, you'll have objective card. You know, there's stuff over here. Different maps you download have different things. Like for example, if you go to, I actually made a map. I'll go ahead and show that off, I guess, to wrap up the video. I don't want to make this video too long, or at least, yeah. So 2v2 final version, the final version of my 2v2 map. Because I'm going to be making an apocalypse game. Maybe you guys will want to watch that. I don't know. But I made this map. Obviously, I didn't make all the pieces and the board. Like, all of this I took from the mod. But the actual design of the map itself is all me. I made this whole thing. So I've put up all the deployment zones, you know, the cross angles ones, you know, the orange. I put all the lines up, measured it out correctly. These maps are bigger than a standard 40k map. Just so you know, these are a bit bigger. But that's the point. You know, and I've made varying terrain and stuff. You know, you have a nice city in the middle with like a lot of a bridge, because obviously I have two boards stuck together and it looks kind of ugly if I don't do something like this. So I've added in a nice little city bridge to connect the two with some lots of good line of sight blocking terrain. You know, and you know, you can make some ridiculous armies also. Like here, if I go to my saved armies, this is kind of a little bit of a I guess a spoiler, I suppose. So I have a 10,000 point army for, oh shit, that's not 10,000 point army though. Is this my 10,000 point army? Wait. Where is it? Oh, right. The 10,000 point army was so big and massive that I had to like put it in pieces. So there's a heavy support squad. Lag. There's all kinds of stuff. Oh god, all this. Also, you get it. And I'm just you know. And then I have troops who are supposed to go in each rhino. You get the idea. There's a lot of stuff, and you know, you have the Storm Raven. I feel like I'm missing something. Wait, where's the transports? There's the transports. There's all the transports. But yeah, so my point is you can get a ton of models on, right? Because it's really easy to get more models. If I want more predators, for example, I hover over the predator, Control C, I can make as many predators as I want. You just need to have the model, and then you can make as many things as you need. Need more knights? Boom. Okay, copy and pasting knights isn't very good. They're a little glitchy actually. You will not want to do that, but you know what I mean. So yeah, there's all this stuff you can do with the game, and it's super cool. And I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, I can't play this. It's not right. Well, I think it's perfectly fine, because look at all this great stuff you can do. Look at how you can have massive armies and stuff, and like fit on these boards. This is all can go away. And I'll teach you how to make maps. I mean, I'm happy to do, you know, tutorials, like good tutorials. If you try and look up tutorials on the internet right now, because I've tried, like I had to figure all this out myself. It's tough. And the thing is, you can do more than just 40k here. That's another thing I really want to show you, is that there is more than just 40k available for you to do. For example, I am making a World War II game. I don't know what it's going to be like yet. I'm just making stuff up, kind of basing it on Warhammer. But check it out. Like, I downloaded an Axis and Allies map, right? Really cool. And I got infantry units and tanks, and, you know, you can, like, put stuff on them. I guess maybe we shouldn't be looking at the Nazis. That might actually not be good for YouTube. Sure, we'll look at the Americans. You can't mess that up. All right. Americans, for example, you know, you have infantry, you know, you got a movement, a strength, a defense, health points, maybe an ability, and then a nationwide ability. You know, all kinds of stuff like that, you know. And you have a tank, you know, you can have stats on that, you can pick up stuff, you can move them around. Still working on getting some boats. If anyone has some good battleship boats, which I know is ironic because the game Battleship is actually on here, but the game Battleship game doesn't have good models, and I'm trying to find like some nice models, because I could make this whole game with just pegs, but that's not exciting. I want to look at, you know, really cool stuff. You know, you can even have, like, you know, the Japanese over here, even though that's a German tank, but you know, there's no Japanese tanks modeled. It's a British tank, American tank. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. And there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do. And that was kind of my whole point in the first video. And we'll go ahead and close it out here. I hope you guys get the game. It's really good. And I'll probably be doing more Warhammer theory stuff using this game. not using in person, because in person it's limited. I don't have a lot of models. I don't have a lot of money. You know, this game was $20, and I can now do whatever I want with Warhammer and other war games. So, I guess thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below, because I need feedback. I can't get it better or improve without feedback. And I always respond because I get so few comments. I will always respond. I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm just here to help the community out, make it fun to play Warhammer 40k and perhaps other war games too in the future. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. As always, I'm Elwirfy, and I'll see you guys next time.